some battles, we're winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up, get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go toe to toe till I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself, 8 times, no trip, trips. Give me the loop. See now we going high.
Y'all know what time it is. You're listening to Going to the Body with the Urban Sports Scene. I'm Wole, and I'll have a special guest joining me to talk about the prior boxing weekend. Before we talk boxing, let's knock out some particulars. Hey, you can check us out on our website, which is www.urbansportscene.com. You can also subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Also, make sure you subscribe to our Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel. Hit that red subscribe button and also like this video. Don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene and like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Also, join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. All right, here's what we have. It's time for the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. We'll have Christine from In the Ring with Christine will join me to talk about the weekend of boxing, including undisputed junior featherweight champ Inoue showing out over the weekend. But I don't want to waste any time. I don't like wasting time. My guest is too special. She's too awesome. She's on it when it comes to the boxing game. What's going on, Christine?
Hi. You're too much. No, thank you. I appreciate being here. I love it.
Hey, Christine, before we talk boxing and talk about what happened over the weekend, first of all, I want you to talk about your great show, especially you have a show tomorrow. What's going on with Women's Crushing It Wednesday tomorrow?
You know, we're really gaining a lot of traction. You know, I've got my girls, Nika and Crystal, every Wednesday, 8 Central, 9 Eastern. You know, we talk boxing, and we started doing something new. We really wanted to highlight women. And so we're having a guest on for the first 3 minutes of every show, a woman that's done something really great in the community, or is just a great mom, or is just really making a difference, because we really feel that it's very important to uplift women and for us to support each other.
I like that. So in any realm, it doesn't matter in the box game, in any type of platform.
Just a boss in the game.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. If you know anybody, let me know.
Oh, I do. I know a few. I mean, I cover. It's crazy. I cover MEAC, an HBCU like basketball and like women's. I know a bunch of women's basketball coaches. I know a few actually.
We would love it. We would love it.
We can chat about that. I'll put you in contact with some folks.
Okay.
Who I think are very are big time mentors in terms of like big time mentors, female mentors. Period. I like that. Oh, you know what? Definitely, we'll connect. We'll definitely connect with that.
Okay.
All right, Christine. So obviously, like a lot of folks had their gripes over the weekend about, you know, it was supposed to be deemed the best weekend of boxing, right? It was supposed to be deemed the best weekend of boxing. In terms of initially, when you look at the card, you couldn't deny it. Like you look at it like, wow, this is something special. We're talking about heavy hitters all around the board.
Yeah.
So we had Teofimo Lopez, we had Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Canelo Alvarez, all fighting during that same time. Canelo, obviously, with Canelo scheduled to fight Bud, you know, so everybody's looking at this fight. But there's one dude who stole the show, man. Like, there's one dude who stole the show on Sunday night. We're talking about Inoue, who stopped Cardenas in the 8th round after being knocked down in the 2nd round. Your thoughts on him showcasing himself to the world in Vegas?
To me, it just really solidified who he is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he is a monster. Yes, he was knocked down. He's not perfect. He's not God. You know, this was the 2nd time that he's been knocked out by the same shot. But the way that he got back up and got himself together, he did not make that mistake again the whole night. And he finished the show. You know, as a matter of fact, he was stepping out. He was getting away from shots. And, you know, even though a lot of people were making fun of Cardenas being a Lyft driver, I mean, most professional boxers, unless they are multimillionaires, they have other jobs.
Yes.
This kid is definitely tough and talented. I've seen him come up through the amateurs. He had 26 pro fights with just 2 losses. He was bigger. You know, he fought bigger than Inoue had previously. And he was the real deal. And the way that Inoue got himself together, finished it, closed it, just showed me how much more I need to watch him and admire him. And I do.
It's crazy because I won't even act like I stay up and watch him normally because I don't. So I kind of was being very stubborn initially with him. My friend used to tell me all about Inoue. I was like, I got my guys. I have Earl, I got Bud, I got enough I want to watch. You know what I mean? But then so after watching that fight, I became really enamored with them. I don't care. Sometimes for me, I don't always look at the opposition. Like to your point, like he got knocked down. That happens. But how he responded, what kind of impressed me, is because it's as if that never happened. You know what I mean? It never happened. Like he wasn't timid. Like we could talk about another fight where a dude got knocked down early and he was timid during the second weekend.
That's true.
He wasn't timid. Like he got knocked down and it was like as if, all right, this happened. I'm gonna still push the fight. Like the thing that he said after the fight, when they asked him, and he's like, "I'm glad people see that I like the brawl. Like I like the brawl. Prize fighter who likes the brawl. It's almost like not the stereotype or anything, but it's like you got a Japanese style boxer, but he almost has like that Mexican mentality in terms of how he boxes. It's like, oh, you knock me down. All right, I'm gonna give you knock me down. I'm gonna give you 3 more. Like I'm gonna give you 3 more. Yeah. So,
it's almost like he got a second win from being knocked out. Like something inside of him really got shook up, and he had more energy, more ambition, more drive.
Yes, it was real, and just the combinations, like his stumps and his jab, and then when his punches all will have intent. Like that's what I like about it. It's always with intent, and it was impressive. Like I felt like, and I'm with you because I remember having you on the show a few times now. You're always like, I like you like muting like the commentary, and I wanted to do that for this fight because I'm like listening to Timothy Bradley, and I'm thinking to myself, are you rooting against Inoue? Because it's like it seems like the whole time and I get like obviously you may have a connection with Cardenas, but I'm like,
I really don't. Like I don't personally like talk to him or know him. I've just seen him, so I just knew. When people were making fun of him, no, this guy's been around.
But it seemed like Timothy Bradley was so pro him. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, like, dang, like, he knocked it. Like, it was like he kept saying, like, he kept saying, Cardenas is going to get Inoue again, and he's going to get him again. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, like he was close. Don't get it wrong. I'm not going to knock Timothy Bradley because he was right that Cardenas was close to catching him again on that same mistake. But at the same time, I'm like, all right, there's a reason why this dude is who he is. Like, there's a reason why Inoue is who he is. Like, he's going to adjust. Like,
I mean, listen, we can all be close. I can be close to winning the lottery. Like I can be close to like hitting a car with my car. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
it didn't happen.
It didn't. But he was so impressive. So for you, like, who do you have him ranked in terms of your pound for pound list? Because for me, I have, like, everyone knows, if anybody knows who listens to the show, I got Usyk 1. Like, I felt like what he did was amazing. It's remarkable. But now, like, I have to like question. I always had Bud at 2, like mentally. I had Bud at 2. But now after watching Oh Boy, I have to question like 1, 2, 2, 3. Like, I'm not gonna lie, he was that impressive to me. That impressive. But where do you have him ranked?
Honestly, like I don't have a pound for pound list. I don't. Okay. Because I like so many different boxers for different reasons, for their styles, for where they're at, for the opposition that they've dealt with, and how they deal with certain people. Because think about it. People always say, oh, well, so-and-so beat so-and-so, but this guy didn't. Well, this fight was different. Yeah. How did this person deal with them? So I don't really have a pound for pound list, but he is definitely one of my favorites. I will say that.
Yeah, he is. I end up being so impressed with him. I've never it's almost like the first time I saw like Manny Pacquiao, and it was like, oh wow, that's what he kind of like. That's the first time. Yeah, he's in it. So I'll ask you this: who would be your dream opponent for him?
And probably Bam Rodriguez. I mean, it's a weight difference right now for Bam, but that would be, to me, would be like a dream fantasy matchup to me, because they're both so skilled. They both have so much like to offer. They have angles. They have level changes. I mean, everything. They have power, and they both are like determined not to lose.
I agree. It's crazy. So, all right, I'm asking another question because my boy posed this question to me. Who wins in their prime, Inoue or Lomachenko?
Oh my gosh!
In their prime.
Yeah, that's tough.
I mean, know, right? I thought about this. I know
it's tough. I mean, you could say, Lomo had maybe better footwork, the way he angles around, and but then you could say also Inoue will meet him every time he is angling and facing him and meet him with a punch. So it's so hard to say because they're both amazing, and we could honestly like argue this all night long. But that would be beautiful, right? If we could see it.
Yeah, I know. I thought about it. He posed a question to me. I was like, dang. At first I was kind of like saying Inoue would win, but then I had to think about it. Like I just thought about it. I was like, you know what? Let me take my statement back. That would all I said, that would be a fire match, fire fight. That would be because to your point, the footwork, Lomachenko's footwork is different.
Definitely.
It's hard to kind of plan for it to say like somebody can beat him because of his footwork, because he throws punches from various different angles.
Absolutely.
On the flip side, I just feel like we saw what like Lomachenko versus Teofimo. On the flip side, I think that in a way, his tenacity and his power, the jab. When we saw how even Haney used the jab against Lomachenko, how that could be a problem too. It's like they both can. I mean, obviously, they both would have problems. They both would have problems with each other, obviously.
Absolutely, and let's just face it too. I mean, in a way, he always keeps his head. Like mental strength is so important. We have seen people like Teo, and I'm so glad he's not there anymore at the moment. But where he has lost his head, we've seen Canelo get frustrated in the ring. We've seen some greats, lose their head. Well, I don't remember a fight where I have seen Inoue lose his mental state and just frustration. He just knows the task at hand and he gets on it.
Yeah, he was fantastic. He saved the weekend. He was fantastic. I know it's both of them. Like I like to give. It's not just one person because Cardenas brought the fight. It's both of them. A lot of people were like just put it on Inoue, but I felt like if Cardenas didn't show up, then we'd be talking. Even though it could have been a spectacular performance, but Inoue, the reason why that fight was dynamic because both of them showed up.
Absolutely. And I know that Cardenas gained a lot of fans. I know
he deserved it.
And credit to his coach, Joel Ortiz. He definitely he is the type of coach that is his fighters upset, stars. We heard Timothy Bradley, Manny Pacquiao, Joel Ortiz was there. He has done amazing things with these fighters, but he had a student that was willing to listen. So the boxer also has to be willing to take instruction and train the way the coach says. And Cardenas obviously was that guy.
Sure was. All right, let's go to somebody we mentioned earlier. Arguably, you could say he's like some people may put him pound for pound the best. I wouldn't. I mean, I used to love this dude, so I'm not going. And it feels bad for me saying this. I used to love this guy a lot. Anybody who knows me knows how I felt about this individual. On Saturday, undisputed super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez had a non-impressive unanimous decision victory over William Scull. What did you think of the fight? And do you think it's from what you viewed? You think Bud's like, yeah, I got you?
I'll answer your first question. So the first question, it lacked a lot of luster.
Yes.
Number one. Number two, I started thinking that Bud was paying attention, and I definitely was taking my notes too with the Berlanga fight. Now, this skull fight solidified, even though I'm going for Bud, and I knew he was going to somehow, pull it out. Now I'm totally 100% sure that he has the plan. A lot of people criticized Berlanga, but honestly, he did pretty well against Canelo. I know that he was bigger. Do I think he should have had a parade? Whatever. If that's what he wants to do, whatever. But seeing that fight and then this performance with Skull, but
do you think? Because I'm trying not to be anti, because I like I'm trying to be anti, I'm trying not to be anti Canelo.
Too, but face it, we have to pick a corner, right?
Yeah.
Two fighters are going to come together. We have to pick, and it doesn't mean we don't like the other person.
Yeah.
We think they're stupid. It just means that we feel like the skill set is going to win that night.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to me because I'm like, I like skill set wise. This is one thing I'll say. Like, I don't want to use the Skull fight for Bud, because I felt like what Skull did, Bud won't do. Period.
No,
because Bud's mentality is not what Skull's mentality was.
No, not at all.
He was like Skull was like, and whatever floats your boat. I'm not gonna knock him. I like a lot of people were knocking him. I'm not gonna knock him. Like he was trying to get points. It was like he was trying to get points. He wasn't trying to get hit, and that's why like on my card I actually had it. I had it like if I'm doing it objectively, I'm not counting running who landed landed punches. I had it 115, 113. Canelo
had it close like that, or some people thought Skull actually won.
Yeah, I had it 115, 113 Canelo, but I didn't from how it was worked, how he fought the fight and how it played out. That's how I had it. But also I put some blame on Canelo because at the end of the day, like if you wanted to get him, you can go get him.
Yeah.
Like that's how I looked at it. Like because of your style, because you want to wait and you want to stalk and you throw limited punches, you allow that. Like that's what you allow. Like now, if you wanted to be aggressive, and we've seen Canelo aggressive before, where
absolutely
when he sells out, like we've seen it. Absolutely. So he could have done that if he wanted to. That was a choice. So I don't blame Skull. Like Skull had a plan. That was his plan. All right, fine. But how Canelo knows how to cut off the ring. He knows how to attack if he needs to. He chose that. But it's still going to be interesting for him, to me, in the back of my mind. It's always good. It's not the skill. It's always going to be the size for me with Bud against Canelo. It's not going to be the skill. That's not going to be an issue for me mentally. I'm not going to say, like, I feel like what Bud brings to the table always gives Canelo problems.
Absolutely.
Because that skill set, like we've seen that with Canelo, even in victories, right? We've seen that in the past with Canelo. The only thing is just the size. And also, like, what Bud does well, on the flip side, like we all know that Bud finishes you. When he gets you, that's his thing. He's a finisher. He's a closer. When he gets you on a wrap, he closes you. Canelo's chin is like special. Like, so it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to have that effect, like we saw what he did with Earl, or we even Porter, right? He got to finish Porter off, but he would have knocked down. Like that's the only thing that is not, again, it's not the skill of winning rounds. It's like, can you finish him off, and can you stand the power too as well? Because Canelo's gonna walk through you.
So you're right about the chin, and so if we know that, I'm sure Bud and his team know that. So what is a better option? That would be starting at the body. That would be starting at the body and breaking him down, because they're thinking the same thing that we are.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you this. So, Canelo did not look like he was even, like you said, trying to cut the ring, trying to stalk his prey, nothing. Do you think there comes a time in these boxers' careers where they don't care about wooing the fans? Look, they're making some big money.
Yeah.
It's really important to give us what we want when he's done that, and he's going to have to continue to do it and with some harder opposition. That's
a good point. I would say this with his current track record, I'm gonna say that I don't know. I don't think he cares about the fans, because that was the case. I'm gonna be real with you. If that was the case, he wouldn't be fighting, but he'd be fighting initially. He would already fought like Benavidez.
Right.
That was the case.
That's what the fans want.
Yeah, because that would be like a fight that people would view as saying, okay, that's a 50-50 fight mentality. Like there's like, you're gonna always in this situation, and there's a lot of folks think Canelo has the advantage over Bud, like because of size. So when you look at it,
saw them standing next to each other, right?
Yeah,
I've been saying that for a long time.
Yeah. They don't look. I mean, Bud is putting on some weights. I'm gonna give Bud some credit.
Taller.
He's taller. Yeah, that too. So, but he's fought, like Canelo has fought in this weight, around this weight for a while. So, like, you're gonna automatically look at it and say that's like, you're picking who you feel like is the easier competition because of the size. Not to say the skill, but the size. But to your point, like I feel like I feel like Canelo doesn't care. It's almost like that Mayweather mentality. As you get older and as you make more money, you feel like you're the draw. Like now, to your point, I feel like when you think you're boxing, you are boxing. You're like, I don't care. Like I can do whatever I want. I'm gonna get paid, and you're gonna still see me.
Canelo is the golden ticket for everybody.
Yeah. It's almost, I mean, not to be funny, but it's almost like Canelo's the golden ticket, but it's almost like Tank.
Yes.
In the elevator. Like he's a golden ticket. So he doesn't He doesn't care what you think about who he fights. He's gonna fight who he wants to fight.
Absolutely, they play by their rules.
Yeah, so I agree with you. I do think that I wouldn't have. It's crazy if you asked me like 5 years ago, I wouldn't have said that though. I would have said like Canelo. What I like about Canelo is that he always gives you the fight that you want to see. Like I've always. That's what I pride myself. I used to like being a big fan of Canelo. When I used to stick up for Canelo. Yeah. It would be like one thing you can't deny is that he'll fight the toughest dude out there.
But you know, 5 years ago, he did.
Yeah.
6-7 years ago, he did.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have to do that today. He can pick and choose. Like he's going shopping, you know. And Uncle Turk wants this Bud and Canelo fight. Guess what?
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But I do think, to your point though, it's now, but it works for us because we get what we want though, right? Because this is the fight that a lot of folks. You asked a lot of folks 5 years ago, like, there's no way this fight's happening. You're not looking at no Bud versus Canelo. Like that's not. You're thinking to yourself, it's not even fair, right? But there have been, to your point, there has been like a chink in the armor over the last couple of years in Canelo. It doesn't seem like he has that invincibility in terms of that clout, that invincibility clout that we saw over the years with Canelo.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I do agree. So that's a good question. Yeah,
I don't believe that Bud will take a fight that he's going to lose.
Bud?
Yes.
I don't think Bud cares. To be honest with you, I think he takes all the smoke.
I think that he does care if he loses. He is very competitive.
Oh, I know what you mean. That he believes he's gonna win. Oh, I know what you mean. Like
he's
I got you. Yeah.
If he knows or thinks he's gonna lose, like he's not doing it. He knows.
He's not like Charlo. He's not Charlo.
No, he knows in his heart he's going to win.
Yeah. No, he believes he's going to win. I agree with that.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah. There's other. I thought you meant like he wouldn't say. Yeah, you know. I think Bud thinks he's gonna win every fight though.
Absolutely, he's very competitive, and so far he has.
Yeah. So I feel like, to your point, he will know. He doesn't. This is not like a money grab for him. I agree with you. This is not a money grab fight. No. He believes he's gonna win.
I don't think so. No.
I totally believe Bud thinks he's gonna beat Canelo. I totally believe that.
Sure.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm just interested to see what I know. I'm gonna put it this way. I know what Bud I'm gonna get. Like I know who I'm gonna get with Bud. Like I know I'm gonna get a guy who's determined. I know I'm gonna get that type of dude. I'm interested to see what kind of Canelo we get. Like I do believe that if Canelo is determined, if you get a determined Canelo, like the old school mentality Canelo, I don't think Bud beats that Canelo. But if he's the I call it the Rocky before Mr. T, that character when he lost to Mr. T that first time. If he gets that version, then you're gonna get. Then Bud gonna be Clover Lang, and you're gonna get that work.
I just hope that Canelo's not believing the hype.
There you go.
People are putting forth about him and about Bud, because if he believes the hype, then he thinks that he's gonna have a short night. It's gonna be a long night, a very long night.
Yeah. I mean, I think if he's smart, just go back and see what Mayweather did to you. And then, that's how you gotta, because you're dealing with you're dealing with a scientist out there who's got a killer mentality. That's what Bud is. That's what Bud is.
Absolutely. Yeah. Definitely.
I finally found you. Big ups. Oh, thank you.
Boxing.
Look. There you go. You go. Everybody loves Christine because Christine is awesome.
No.
You gotta love Christine. Christine is awesome. All right, let's go to what happened Friday night. Like, so I mentioned about a dude who did respond well to a knockdown. So on Friday night, in his first fight since being suspended, Ryan Garcia gets knocked down and beat by Romero by unanimous decision. This fight, disappointed me. Disappointed me. I'm not gonna lie to you. But before that fight, Devin Haney defeated Jose Ramirez in a unanimous decision. Another fight that a lot of folks weren't a fan of. But let's start with my man, Ryan Garcia. Okay. First fight, got knocked down, and he didn't respond well after the knockdown, which I'm not a big fan of. Your thoughts on his performance? I will admit that I was like most people.
I know that Rolly has a lot of power. I personally know people that have sparred him. He's in Salas's gym. One of my fighters is there that goes to spar there. My son is there sometimes. So he's very strong. He's very strong. I was hearing through the grapevine that he was working on some things and he was looking really, really good. But, those are obviously some of his friends, his teammates. So I wasn't I thought Ryan had his head on straight. I really thought that this was the big comeback. But the mistake that I believe that he and Haney made as far as the whole promotion was not even looking at the people that they were going to be fighting. They were already making, this Ryan Garcia Haney too. And I think that both these guys looked past their opponents. And Rolly, man, he looked like $1 million.
Didn't he though? Didn't he? Oh no.
He looked so good. And I was happy. Honestly, I was so happy for Rolly.
Yeah, I would say this, 147, it fits him.
Oh yeah.
I'm not I've seen he looked, and the folks Jim Lampley, and good God bless having Jim Lampley back on TV.
Oh, that was
Jim Lampley.
He was not happy.
I know, right? He was not. But seeing but he talked about Rolly's physique and how in shape he is. He looks strong.
It's so strong.
Yeah, it's
his defense. I mean, I've been very critical of his defense over the years, and his chin would always pass his knee. His hands were low. He couldn't react well. When he was getting punched. He looked like a totally different person. And I'll tell you what, he was not dropping that right hand. He was not going to get hit with that left hook. There was no way. As a matter of fact, he was shooting the left hook. And he looked so good doing it. I'm happy he won. But I will say too, I feel bad for Ryan because I think fans can really be disgusting. And of course it's their right.
Of course.
They're like, oh, he deserves it. Karma, that's what he gets. Who of us have never done anything wrong? Fine. And then the way that the cameras were on him and the ambulance when he's emotional, we didn't need to see that.
Yeah.
Let the man have some privacy. So I don't like that. But I'm very happy for Rolly, and I'm very glad that he won.
I will say this, for Ryan, I felt like what I was disturbed with, not angry with, is angry because Ryan should be more angry and be angry than anything. Yeah. And I kind of think, for me, even though he got knocked down, I felt like, to your point, Rolly's defense was better, but I felt like Ryan still had a bunch of opportunity if he just threw punches. I felt like I would say, I call it obviously calling it championship rounds, after round 9, 10, 11, 12, that's when Rolly turned up. But in that middle phase though, Ryan had an opportunity to put punches together, and he just was shy. He was so gun shy, and I felt like
that knockdown took everything from him. Took an ounce of confidence that he could possibly have, and then the stress and the pressure of knowing that he's got to win this fight for there to be another one, even though it's in the contract or whatever. But for people to want to see it, right? And after all the talking that they've been doing, he had nothing. He had nothing for him, no answer.
Yeah, that's what killed me.
But the thing is too is this, and so Jamel Herring, God bless Jamel.
Yeah.
My friend Norbs, they gave me a perspective, and I think it's right on. So we know that that Ryan was with Derek James, okay, and he left, and then he went to Team Canelo, obviously. But they were, in his words, they were too busy with Canelo. And their other fighter, and he went back to Derek James.
Yeah.
Jamel said, I think it was pride. I think it was if I'm not going to be the star, if I'm not going to be the king, I don't want it. I'm going to go where I am the king.
Oh.
And I was like, wow, I didn't even think about that.
That's a good point.
That has a lot to do with how the night went as well.
Yeah, because I just felt like I don't want to take away any of any flowers from Rolly. He did have a good performance. I think that's the best we've seen from Rolly in a long time. So I don't want to take anything away from Rolly, but I just felt like watching the fight, there was openings for Ryan, and Ryan just let his hands go. I felt like Ryan could have he could have tested Rolly to a point where, you know, I think he could have got Rolly down, you know what I mean, and had some momentum for himself. But you know, that's something that obviously when you get knocked down, it takes away a lot from you. Now you're worried about the power, you know what I mean? And Rolly showed, you know, he showed power in that double hook. It was a double hook, right? That knocked him down, I believe. Yeah, he showed power in the double hook. So yeah, I root for Ryan. I still root for Ryan.
Yeah, and the thing is, like to your point, what you were saying is like, even though Rolly was showing us some things that looked really good, and we see that he's been working in the gym, his body was open a lot of times, you know, but Ryan was not willing to take the chance to get that close to touch the body because he didn't want to get clipped again.
Yeah, you could see it, and that was disturbing. It was like, because it was different, because even in the Haney fight, I guess it's different power. Like Haney was tagging him, but he wasn't like concerned. He would still go at him. It was different. Honestly, even Tank, when Tank got him a couple, he was still like aggressive.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, it's just this was kind of
Red Corner Box. He says he loves that left hook. Fortunately, it's also his downfall too. So to that, like, it's so true, because we did not see, and I'm not going to criticize any coaches. I'm going to say that we didn't see anything different. Okay. All we saw is, okay, here comes the left hook. Well, everybody and their grandmother knows about that left hook. Okay. So of course they're going to prepare for that, you know, and if you're jumping around from coach to coach, how can you really expect to learn anything different or add any more tools? You can't. You can't. So it was all wrong.
I agree with him. Like that's the one thing I'm like, eventually, because Ryan has hand speed. Like eventually I feel like there's got to be a coach out there that can give him something to his arsenal other than that left hook. Like, and it's got to be more.
Many, but the thing is, he's got to sit down and stick with one.
Yeah.
We call guys like him hoppers. Like they hop from one coach to another, trying to find the holy grail, you know, because they're not doing exactly what they want to do when they want to do it. Well, it takes time to cultivate, you know, and to gain a relationship.
Yeah. Here we go. Question for you. Who y'all got if T.O. gets his wish and gets boots next at 147? Also Ryan versus Haney 2 or Ryan versus Rolly 2? What you want to see? I'll answer like T.O. because I'll talk about T.O. All right, we can talk about T.O. We can go to T.O. I'm gonna go T.O. first. So T.O.'s had a great performance. I thought T.O. had an amazing performance against Bardoza. And it was and Bardoza undefeated fighter, so give him his flowers. Undefeated fighter.
Absolutely. And Barboza came to win.
Yeah, he came to win. Yeah. But I thought T.O.'s footwork. I mean, T.O.'s a funny dude, obviously, because you know when he likes to, you know, talk trash and, you know, do his little thing. But when I'm just talking about his boxing, he looked quick, he looked decisive, he looked clean. Your thoughts on T.O.'s performance against Barboza?
I thought T.O. looked great. Like, honestly, I didn't know what T.O. we were going to get in. You know, we've seen that he does better against better opposition, and sometimes lags a little bit. I was going for Barboza. I said it publicly. I thought Barboza was going to give him the business. And he totally surprised me, and I'm glad. I like that. I like when they dig deep. They decide that they're going to have a great training camp. They're going to get serious. They're going to remove some obstacles that have been holding them back. Yeah. And they get out there and show us who they really are. And good for him. He looked great.
Yeah. So I'm a believer in T.O. Everyone knows it pisses me off. The only thing that bothers me about T.O. is like the mindset, right? It's just that I don't like when he's not focused. That's why he lost to Kambosos. Like this you have never been in the situation like if you just were just focused. You just all this trying to build your brand, be this, you know, this image. It's not like at the end of the day, boxing's that's your 9 to 5, and you are so good at it. Like there's no need, like you're gonna waste your talent and your skill set by trying to be this image rather than just do what's going to get you to the dance for real. Is your boxing skill. His skill is so elite to me, to be honest with you. The footwork, and you saw it against Bardoza, like just the footwork, the speed, like to get off first, the jab. He has all of it. And you know, I'm not sure now, like obviously when he first got in the game, folks talked about his power. I'm not sure it translates right now.
Yeah,
where he's at now.
Yeah.
But the skill set's still there. And like if he can just put it all together, then we can finally get some of these mega fights. You talk about Boots. Yeah, we'll see about Boots. But I mean, I would like to still see him fight like Devin Haney, or see him fight Tank before he goes up to fight Boots. But I wouldn't be surprised. Boots is a person that a lot of folks feel like hasn't been tested. I feel like this Teofimo Lopez would definitely be a test. Like that version of him is. I don't know. I don't know. And be real, just no knock on Boots. I don't know many can beat that version of Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah. No, I agree. And the thing is too, like everything that you said is correct. Like the skill set, everything. You know, I'm not sure really yet. Like you said, either about the power if it's translated over, but also something that's very important is the confidence. The confidence he had. You know, because we've seen him where he hasn't had the confidence, and he does. But when he believes in himself and everything that he's put in for that fight night, he's a whole different person.
He is. I mean, you saw it against Lomachenko. Like what he did. Like you go back and you want to see like what Teofimo Lopez could be when he's motivated and he's like focused on a task in hand and saying, you know what, I'm gonna prove you wrong. Watch that, and you will know. Like to me, and that's Lomachenko before folks said that he was kind of going on the decline. And I like sorry because they say that Lomachenko's on the decline, but that's way before that chatter had started. Like he had forget of what some folks think in terms of a competitive fight. He brought it to Lomachenko in terms of footwork, power, everything. If you get that version of Teofimo. Again, many people don't beat that dude. I'm serious. Like he is that talented.
Semblance this weekend.
Yeah.
Of that. I mean, it's great. Red Corner Boxes said has a great point. Lamont Tank needs to Lamont Rhodes Jr. first.
I know that. Believe me, I know that too. I'm with that. Hey Rebel, I'm with you. Believe me, I'm with you. I feel like that needs to happen. I have a bunch of rematches that need to happen, to be honest with you. You know, here, everyone praises an age of I love. Yeah.
You know what? I praise anybody with a skill set.
She does though.
I love and like whether they be Asian or anything else, I'm definitely gonna praise the talent.
Hey, look, Inoue has won me over. It's not. I don't care about like because they don't care about your race or whatever.
Yeah,
you a dog. You a dog. Look. I'm a black dude, and my favorite boxer right now in the game is Usyk. So what does that let you know? Like I favor the boxer. Like the boxer, if you show me dynamic skill, I'm with you. Like thoroughly. But I'm gonna go back to his Red Corner. So he said, so do you think we get Ryan Haney too? Well, first let me talk about Haney's fight. In terms of Haney's fight, so a lot of people, it's crazy. And I'm not the biggest Haney supporter, but I kind of my thought process after watching that fight, and I know like he could have probably got dude out of there if he really wanted to sit and like the issue a lot of folks that they thought he looked scared. He didn't stand in the pit with Ramirez. My thought process was he was fighting as if he was fighting somebody else. Now maybe like I felt like he was practicing for say he fought somebody like a Ryan or a Tank or a Ryan Garcia or a Tank, because I do think that he understands his limitations with his chin. And I feel like he was because I feel like he should have known that Ramirez wasn't going to hurt him for real. Like mentally, let me be honest with you. I feel like he was fighting Ramirez.
Strong, I will say.
I'm not saying, but I feel like if he wanted to try to stay in there, in and out, he could have done it. Like I just feel like he was thinking, you know what? For me to be a better boxer, I have to move more. I've used my athleticism. I'm gonna to fight Ryan, to fight Tank. I gotta do this early because I gotta get away from trying to act like I have all this boxing power, because Haney doesn't have power. A lot of times what happens with Haney is he acts like he's got that strong right. He don't have a strong right or left. So, and what happens when he stays in the pit and he gets checked, you see what happens. Like the chin don't respond the same. So I feel like he was kind of training himself mentally. This is how I took it. And again, this is a person who thinks Devin Haney ducks a lot of smoke. So this is coming from that type of person. But I kind of looked at it this way. It was like maybe he's just trying to like train himself into Like, all right, I got Ryan in a rematch. I got to be prepared for Ryan.
Okay. So you said he was in there like he was fighting someone else.
Yeah.
I thought he was in there acting like he was someone else.
I love it.
You know, I'm sorry.
I love it.
From the first bell to the last bell, he looked like a deer in headlights.
He did, yeah.
You know, he really did. He talked a very big game. And anytime, you know, and you know, all props, you know, to Ramirez, because he really did try to cut the ring. He tried to stop the race.
Yeah.
You know, it was going on around him. And when he did, and he might hit him once, Haney would hit him too, but then he would immediately grab him. Immediately grab him. I mean, there is not one time that they were close and Haney did not grab him.
Yeah.
The ref would immediately go over there and save Haney. Break it up. You know what? If that's the kind of fight that they wanted to do, where he was going to run, hold, then at least fight a little bit in the pocket, like on the inside.
Yeah.
Let us see. Because honestly, if I'm a judge, how do I how do I score this? You know, I think they both lost. You know, I don't think that he was saying, okay, I'm going to test something out with Ramirez, because Ramirez is known to be a very heavy puncher. I don't know, but that's just what I.
No, Christine, what I tell you before the show? I told you, like, I trust you over me. I told you this already. Like so look, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt because I'm trying to figure. Yeah, no, because it's like, because I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, this is a fight you have to kind of, your image, where your image is at. And maybe Red Corner is right. Maybe he's just a shook boxer. You know what I mean? Like he said, he's a shook boxer.
You know, but your point validates my point, because you were saying that possibly, and maybe it is possibly, he was fighting to prepare for someone else. Well, you don't prepare for somebody else. You don't need to prepare or worry about Ryan Garcia, because right now Romero is in front of you. So when you overlook your opponents, like I believe Haney and Ryan both did.
They both did.
The outcome.
No, I'm with you. I do, because I feel like the outcome is what it was, right? Like now, like it's a fight where it's in jeopardy. Like especially well, for both, honestly, I don't care. Public opinion. Where Devin Haney was at, the issue was, you know, after with Ryan Garcia, but regardless of where you go with, you know, who was at fault or who, whatever, within the situation, he needed to have a good turnout. He needed to have a good performance in this fight. Yeah. And this was far from it, especially with the elite ability that he does have. I believe like Tarver was saying, like Tarver kept saying, like, I know that Devin Haney is better than this. Like, I've seen this kid. He is better. He's way better than this. He kept saying it.
Or he was, because some people recover. Some people never recover from a car accident. You know, they can never get in a car again.
True.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, PTSD, you know? And I hope he is good. I hope he's going to be okay. I do. I want to see the old and new improved. I do. But they both they messed up the bag, because listen, even though Haney Sr. is saying, you know, it was in the contract, they have the rematch clause, they're going to fight again, it's a done deal. Who's going to put the money up? Is Turkey going to lose more money?
Good question. I feel like that fight is, I mean, I think it automatically kind of sells itself, because you're going to have, I'll say this much. Go ahead. Go for it. Go ahead.
Like, really?
I mean, I think it won't be the same. I won't say it's the same. You're not going to get, obviously. And to be real, it won't be the same. I'm not going to say it's going to be the same, because if two of those dudes won and they both look good, it'd been 10 times bigger. Obviously, I'm not going to say it 10 times bigger. So I totally agree with you. But I'm saying, like, in terms of a draw, it will still have some type of draw. It won't be as bad as we see some boxing fights where it has no buzz. It'll have some buzz. We have. But okay, you're a businessman, right?
You personally, you're a businessman. You put so much money into something that you think is going to be an absolute sellout, and it flops. Are you going to put your money back into that? Are you going to try? What? Yeah. Let's try it one more time.
You know what? That's true. I wouldn't. Like, I personally wouldn't. That's a good point. Like, I'm just interested to see what Turk does, because I mean, or you could go the route where Red Corner said, You can get maybe Rolly versus that. Would you do Rolly versus Devin?
See that? Yeah, I would. See
Okay.
that to me now is more intriguing to me. That to me right now is the fight that I want to see made. Because really, where is Rolly gonna go right now? Like, okay, he had a really good night, but is this the new and improved Rolly that we're gonna continue to see, or was this just for the moment? So I think that would be a great matchup, and I would like to see that.
So you want to see Rolly versus Devin? Okay. So would you want it over Devin? I mean Rolly versus Garcia too?
Yeah, right now, yes, because Garcia didn't win, right? Haney did. So let's give the guy a trophy and let him face Rolly.
I like this. What is your opinion about this? I kind of almost on this side. He needs to sack off Bill. To be honest, I love Bill, but he's bad for Devin. I mean, as is Kid Austin Pops. Sometimes you gotta cut that cord. Do you think that?
No, I do. The thing is that a lot of people do not like Devin or Kid Austin as it is, right?
Yeah.
But then they dislike them even more because of their fathers. It's like their fathers are a detriment. Yeah. I've interviewed Kid Austin a couple of times, and he couldn't even speak. His father spoke the whole time, and very domineering. And I just and at that moment, I was just like, this is not good. And then we see Bill doing the same thing. I mean, Bill is the one on social media talking crap to everybody, and Devin's probably in his room with his pillow over his head. Like, I wish he would stop. But it really takes a lot of courage and to be able to put your foot down and to draw those lines, those border lines, especially with your father. I mean, who doesn't want their parents to be proud of them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, and honestly, this is all, maybe I'm wrong. But from what I see, this is all their dads have as far as claim to fame and money is their sons. Maybe they have businesses somewhere else. Maybe they do. But right now, their sons are the spotlight, and this is what they have, and this is what they want. And it's why
do you think you could be wrong? I'm just saying, like, basically. No, I mean, basically, that's what kind of I mean, that's in all sports. To be honest, I mean, to a certain, that's all sports.
Think about how many times have you seen and known that you had seen Errol Spence's dad?
Never. No, you see it like that's like it's.
I know him very well, seen him all the time. But one thing about him, he wanted his son and wants his son to be in the limelight. He's going to be in the back, supporting his son.
Yeah, I feel like even like know the crazy thing about it is though, to be honest with you, I'll rest in peace. Gary Russell Jr., his father, senior. How many times have you seen him talk in front of anything? He's the trainer.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if you want to use the argument that he's the trainer, he's the cornerman, how many times you see that's his father, and you barely hear him talk. So I agree with you. I do think that when you start to be boisterous and like you're taking away your son's, I don't want to say like these cats they don't got no they're not men. I'm not gonna say that. I don't want to say that, but it's to a point where like you gotta speak for yourself. Like that's your job as a parent is like, all right, I've raised you to now have your own voice. Like you have your own voice. You know what I mean? So in my opinion,
it's not saying that they're not men. It's saying that men without boundaries is what it's saying. Boundaries, it doesn't matter if it's your mom, your dad, your whatever, you are going to not let anyone cross those boundaries.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like I look at it like it's not like them men. Like I'm not saying that. Like you like I'm saying, I'm just like you gotta have your own voice. Like if you're if you're a father, that's what you want out of your kid. Like you want to have your own voice. Like and to me,
surpass you.
Yeah, but to me, the issue with like Bill Haney, even like in the beginning, I think he's kind of been health issues. Like Teofimo father used to be the same way. Like you're up front and you're talking, you're doing all this talking. Nah, your son can do this. Like you don't need to be this. Like
be his authentic self. Yeah. And sell the fight and sell what the people want to see with his own mind, his own words. You don't have to do it for him.
Yeah, like even Mayweather's pops wasn't even as vocal. Like, I mean, he
No,
was a semi, but not as vocal.
right.
Yeah, these two dads are living through their. Yeah, I agree. They are. They definitely
I
are.
agree with that. I agree with that. And to me,
Yeah,
it's very tragic. It's
yeah,
very
yeah. Because like when we're talking we talking trash to Mayweather, you're beefing with all these other dudes. It's like,
I know.
I mean, now you're trying to make you to your point, Christine. That's what I'm saying. That's why I totally agree with you. That's why I'm like, you ain't missed nothing. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty out in your face. Like,
Well, and the thing is this, who suffers? The sons do, because how many people would have beat the hell out of Haney because of his dad? How many
facts.
people want to see Haney lose because of his dad? Same
Uh-huh.
with Kid Austin. Like, because of what their dads have done.
Uh-huh. No,
And that's horrible.
no, I agree. I think that Haney gets more hate because of his pops. I think that's
Absolutely.
totally true. Like, I don't think that's even like if you looked at what Haney, like when Haney beat Lomachenko, folks were cheering that dude. They were cheering him on. Then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, when Bill started really going in even
Mm-hmm.
more, because Bill was always talking, but it became he became more obnoxious after like the belts like started really being a thing. I
Absolutely.
gotta make sure you're getting your love out here, Christine. Gotta make sure you're getting your love out here. But you know what I mean? Like that to me is that's when I was like, all right, you're trying to be bigger than your son, which is
Absolutely.
a wild thing.
Yeah. And people like he got a lot of credit in the earlier days because
Yeah,
he was promoting his son. Like he was, pushing him and
he
speaking in a
was.
way, and he was in the scene, and people like that. They're like, man, he promotes these fights. He's the best promoter for his son. But then the first time he and Ryan had this situation, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It got out of hand.
Yeah, and I just didn't like how, I'll be honest with you, and I'm not even folks know me, I'm not like the biggest Mayweather dude, but like how he was talking to Mayweather, I was like, bro,
Yeah.
you're real reckless right now.
Yeah.
You're real reckless.
Well,
Like,
even Coach Garcia, when he said that Ramirez, Robert Garcia, he said, Ramirez was in the ambulance getting checked out because Haney put some hands on him, and I'm thinking, what?
what?
And Robert was like, everybody had to get checked out. We were outside. The venue was outside, so everybody gets checked after the fight, and they had to check him out in the ambulance. Why are you saying this? And he was like, no, we didn't get checked out. I mean, we hurt y'all, obviously. So he's burning bridges.
Yeah, he's just, I mean, to your point, he's weird. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's weird. I think that type of mindset is like, so back to like Red Corner, like I think Red Corner brought this out there. I think he should leave.
Corner's amazing. They're the best.
I think he should leave his father. I think he should leave his father. I'm not, and I know it sucks. I think he should leave his father and do his own thing. And I feel like he would probably be a better boxer for it. You know what I mean? Because I think if you get back to it, he need to get back to. You know what I mean? Like get back to being a boxer.
Yeah, can you imagine carrying the stress of in your gut? It's like, and in your head, it's like, I got to win for me, but I also got to win for my dad because people are making fun of him if I lose, and he's talking all this mess. I mean, he's writing checks that his son may not be able to cash.
True.
And he's got even double pressure than he would have just as an amazing boxer as he is.
Oh, he said my boy Rick
Marion.
Yeah,
That's
sorry.
my guy.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
he addressed the comments. Okay. Yeah, I just
He did. Rick is
did.
gangster with it. Rick, that's my guy.
That's good because Bill does way too much. I'm sorry, he just does way too much for me. All right, so in terms of so you feel like at 147, you think 147 is good for Haney?
I mean, there's some guys in there that he needs to get through because I mean, where else would he go?
Mm-hmm.
He definitely doesn't want to go 154.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna have to like make his rounds at 147. And can he go down? I don't think so.
See, that's crazy. So all right. So in terms of so move back to Tio. What do you think is next for Tio then?
Man, that's really good. I mean, Tio, honestly, right now, he's holding the cards, and okay. I'm sure that Turkey is right there, has him in his pocket, and whoever Tio wants, he's going to get, except for Bud. But
He wants smoke.
I think he wants it.
He wants it.
So, I mean, I think he's going to get whoever it is that he really desires. You know?
Yeah. Like I said, I think he wants, but it's crazy. He wants Bud though. I think it's wild. That's why I give him credit. That's why I like that kid.
Yeah,
I don't know if I like him. I do.
Who's calling Bud out? Really? Who's calling him
out? No one's really calling Bud out for real. Like that's why I like T.O. so much. It's like, and he's serious about it. It's not a joke. He's serious about it.
Yeah,
he's serious about it. Who would I? That's a good. I'm trying to think. Who would I think? Who do I want? I would like T.O. I feel like his power is kind of plateauing, so I kind of want to keep him where he's at.
I think he needs to stay at 47 and
he
cleared out.
Yeah,
possibly.
He wants to fight Boots. I know that.
Yeah,
he wants to fight Boots.
Yeah,
I don't know about Boots though. I don't know.
I think this T.O., if he just continues to grow and have this confidence and this different mentality and living the way he's living, I think Boots might be in trouble.
Oh, you think so? So I was saying, like, I'm with you with Boots. I feel like Boots ain't tested yet. So I know you go. I feel like Boots ain't tested yet.
And
but
tested.
He's tested. T.O. is tested though. Like that's the one thing. He is tested. He said Haney only fought at 143 catch rate though, not 147. That's true.
Yeah, you're right.
But I mean, still like he plateaued. I mean, I think they say that it takes a lot out of him to go down. That's what I've heard.
Is he really gonna go up to 54? Boots?
I feel like Boots? Who
talking about it takes a lot out of T.O. or Boots? Because they're saying
I'm sorry, Haney. I know Haney. It takes a lot of Haney to go back down, to go down. Like
sure.
They say that like this was a challenge for him to get here.
Oh, I believe that. Yeah. He's got some muscle on him. He doesn't that. Yeah, I can see that.
But I feel like he should be. I feel like I always feel like Haney should like. I know it's a lot of work for him because his power just doesn't translate to me at where he's at. I kind of feel like he should go down. I don't know why. I feel like he should try to. I know it sucks for his body, but I don't think he's. I feel like he keeps going up because I feel like he's naturally to your point, Christine. He's like naturally strong. I do think if he's for his own nourishment, 147 definitely he can get 147. Like I know he could get at 147. I just don't know if he can do anything. Well, I don't think he can do anything at 147 for real.
I mean, we have seen Haney and his boxing IQ. He has a very high IQ.
He does, though. He does.
He can hit and not be hit. He doesn't have to knock everybody out.
True.
He can run circles, not literally like he did this weekend around people, but he can do that because he can box.
Yes.
So, but he just has to have the confidence and know that he doesn't have to knock people out. He doesn't have to have hellacious power. He just has to outpoint whoever's in front of him and not be in front of people. Yeah,
I agree. He can do that. I think he's had this mentality now that he thinks he can stand in front of somebody nowadays. That's why he's been he's been hit a few times. Other than Friday. Friday he was running. But other than Friday.
He was running. He was not running.
Other than Friday. But I would say, you know what? I would like to see him fight Shakur. Like, you know what? That's what I want to fight Shakur.
You know, it's so funny because they have very similar styles.
They do. That's what I'm saying. They do.
You know, so similar. They may not ever meet in the middle of the ring. I don't know. They might be in and out.
Yeah.
You know, and especially now that Haney is so gun shy. I mean, be a mile away. So I don't know how that would be. That might be some kind of like line dance. I don't know.
Shakur would hit him more though. Shakur would go at him a little bit harder.
Yeah, I have no doubt Shakur would do his thing if he can catch. Haney, he's gonna have some really, really good running shoes on.
I like this. Haney was prepping for the 2028 LA Olympics. Oh, poor Haney. All right, so Christine, I've had you on long enough. We pretty much knocked out everything for before. You are awesome, Christine. You're awesome.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we let you go again, please plug your show for tomorrow and plug all your content.
So all of my social media is In the Ring with Christine. Every Wednesday night, 8 Central, 9 Eastern. The lovely ladies and I, Nike and Crystal, come on. We talk boxing. We have a good time. It's just like, boxing talk at the bar, at the dinner table. It's all fun.
It is.
And then Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm on 810 podcast. It's 9 Central, 10 Eastern. And Thursdays, I started doing Just Lunch, and I'm going to have 2 special guests on there. You never know who's going to join me at the table. So that is it, 1 Central, 2 Eastern on Thursday. So please subscribe, like, share. We always have a good time and talk some real boxing.
I've seen the alerts on my phone. I'm like, Christine is into everything now. She's got her multiple shows now. This is crazy.
I love it. So fun. It's a lot.
You do have a question before I let you go. Red Cup has a question for you.
Yes. She is doing really, really good. There's not much film on her, but the film that we have is enough. And she's working really, really hard. We will be taking Dina's belts. We will take her belts home. We're excited about it. We're the underdog. Most people feel like the night's not going to go our way, but it's definitely going our way.
Love it. All right, yeah. Christine, thanks for being on. And folks, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Anyway, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene for ages. Deuces, we are out.
Peace.